All right. Now, do you think our universities actually meet international accreditations and research standards?
Yes. By the way, until recently, we've been having a proliferation of universities in Nigeria. In fact, as at the last count, we currently have 287 universities in Nigeria. 287 total. Out of them, you have 52 federal universities, you have 67 state universities, and you have 168 private universities. Total 287 universities. And it's one thing to have the number. It's another thing to have the quality, quantitative and qualitative education. And so your question borders on qualitative. How qualitative are these institutions? And again, we're just talking about universities, because we have the federal polytechnics, 40 of them. And we have the state polytechnics, 51 of them. So you now look at 91 polytechnics, in addition to the 287 universities. And our problem, as you can see, is not in the quantity. Our problem is in the quality. And we must now begin to pay attention to the quality. We have enough. So what are we doing to enhance qualitative education? How have our universities and polytechnics fared in international ratings? Again, we have good news. Good news in the sense that some of our Nigerian universities have been doing well. And not just doing well, have also been acknowledged by international ranking systems to be doing well, to have met that international standard. For instance, recently, Covenant University tops in world rankings. Ahmadu Bello University tops in world rankings. And you now see that Landmark University is in that league. University of Ibadan is in that league. Okay? And many other universities that are in that league. And so we are getting there. We're getting there. And I say we're getting there because some of these universities have shown that we can do better. We can do better. And I am confident that we will do better.
Yes, but still on this issue of quality. Now, what challenges would you say that Nigerian tertiary institutions face when it comes to maintaining consistent quality in their education system?
Well, the challenges I have enumerated. And these are challenges that, if you look now, you find that the universities that have been able to address them are the universities that are doing well. The issue of qualitative academic staff. Nemo that quod non habet. One cannot give what one does not have. If you don't have qualitative academics, and what do you mean by qualitative? Qualitative academic is an academic who is proficient in research, in his area of specialization, research. That research is also now reflected in the research publications. Because if you're a good researcher, then there will be the manifestation in your publications. Number two are the facilities which to teach. A professor of chemistry, how good is the chemistry lab? A professor of engineering, how good is the engineering lab? A professor of medicine, how good are the medical facilities? Because if you don't have these, then you will just be theorizing. Theorizing. I remember in those days when, as students in the university, some of our colleagues were studying computer science. We were studying computer science, and yet there was not one computer unit for their practicals. And so you're theorizing about computer, and the students have not seen what it looks like. talk less of touching it. So you can imagine that kind of education. You can imagine that kind of education. And so these are the things that must be addressed if we must continue to aspire to meet the minimum international standard.
All right. Do you think Nigerian degrees is, recognized abroad as much as international degrees is recognized in Nigeria? And what do you think we should do to improve mutual recognition and employability?
You see, that's a very good question. Very good question. And it's a very, very sad reflection of how we have lost our standing in international ratings. Very sad. I can tell you, there used to be a time when any Nigerian graduates in any part of the world will be so recognized, so sought after. Once you say you graduated from Nigeria, nobody will question the quality of the education, and you will be given first-rate recognition. And now we've come from that Olympian height of recognition to this low level now, where, unfortunately, every Nigerian degree or certificate is looked upon with suspicion. And you know what that means? When people, on the face of it, are already suspicious. And then the onus now will be on you to prove that you earned this degree. Number one. And number two, even if you earned it, they still question the process of earning it. All right? Take, for instance, this incessant strike we've seen in the country where students have been at home for almost a year, 6 months. And you tell me that student who has been at home for 6 months or 8 months, I remember the time under President Buhari when students were at home for 8 months, and the students will come back and they will give them crash program. Some of them will run a semester in less than 2 months. A whole semester in less than 2 months. And they will now write an examination. What does that tell you, Anna? That these students have not been given the requisite training for a semester. Everything has been fast-tracked. And you know that when you fast-track things, that means that you've not done it qualitatively. You've not taken the time and the pains to deliver full coursework and make sure that the students, everything is rushed. And so all of these things have created this impression that our educational standard has fallen from what it used to be. And it's not good for anybody. It's not good. That is why if you go to any foreign embassy now, and our students are subjected to all manner of scrutiny, which wasn't the case in the past.